Hello and welcome to Comic Solving Problems. I'm Stephen Allen.
And I'm Eric McElroy. Welcome to the show where definitely we are here to solve your problems. And I do mean your problems, because we have been outside your house all week, Jim from Southend, loyal viewer, and we do think you should definitely see a doctor about that. It's not something that comics should ever have to look at.
Yeah, we can't solve that. No.
Oh, God, no. But yes, welcome to the show. Thank you very much for joining us. This is a show where we're going to go through some of the week's problems, some of which you've sent us, like Jim from Southend. It's good to see you. Overall, we think it'll clear up eventually. But throughout the show, we are going to be keeping an eye on the chat. So if you want to interact with us, please do that. Probably one of the best. We're on all kinds of social media platforms, aren't we, Steve? We're on the Twitter. We're on the Facebook. We're on the YouTube. We're on the 4chan, maybe? No. Who knows?
It's not
the dark
bad.
web beckoning.
What are they up to by now, by the way? Because I know it was 4chan and then 8chan, so I guess now we're on like 256chan or something.
Yeah, I think it's 666chan or something like that.
Is that a base 2 number?
Sorry?
Is that a base 2 number? Like 2 to the power of something, 666? I don't...
It's the devil's number.
But is it a logarithm? Do you get an integer logarithm to base 2?
Oh, don't start with math this early, Steve, please.
It's going to happen.
Don't do it. The best place to watch us, though, is probably our YouTube channel, where you can see the most chat there, and you can watch, of course, from that. So thank you very much if you're joining us on that. And if you're on Facebook, you can hit the share button so that other people can see what you're watching, if you feel brave. If you feel really brave. And also thank you to those who have pre-booked on Crack Comedy, some of whom bought actual tickets to the show, which we are very grateful, because that gives us hope. Because we've been told here in the UK that we're about 3 months away from getting to do live gigs again, and actually getting paid.
I remember hope.
I remember hope. Yeah, it's nice. I just got an email from my salon to say that April 12th is the day I can get my hair cut. So that's giving me some hope.
Wow.
I know.
Get ready for that episode. Imagine the first episode back after that. Ooh.
It's going to be hot.
Double the ticket price.
Thank you for booking tickets in. And also, though, if you're watching the show, you can contribute with the Ko-fi link that's there. And if you're thinking, these guys have worked hard, these guys deserve something, these guys are pathetic, chuck us whatever you can. Most people do about £3 a person, £6, £20 from my mom. Whatever it is you want to put in there is appreciated as we take you through the problems we will solve.
Let's jump into some problems then.
Let's do it.
The problem that I want to talk about, first of all, is mentioned on the front page of today's Times newspaper. And I should point out, I'm going to be talking about schools. I won't be talking about the picture, which I think is something to do with music festivals going ahead. I'm not really a music festivals kind of guy, and I don't think it's a problem, but we can talk about it if that's good news for you, that apparently the Reading and Leeds Festival will be... Hang on, sorry, what's that? But it's got 2 vowels in it. What? All right, okay. So the Reading and Leeds Festival will be taking... Hang on, sorry, what? Well, you just said to do that... No? All right, I'll take your word for it. No, fair enough. The Reading and Leeds Festivals will be taking place this summer, which is great if you like music. It's not really my kind of thing. I prefer classic rock, like Led Zeppelin. And so, well, make your bloody mind up with... Do you know what? We'll move on. So that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the issue of schools. The schools are going back. Yay! And I know that that's going to be cheering up a lot of parents. They have that phrase of children should be seen and not heard. And I think after this length of lockdown, even the seen is getting a little bit too much. That story was saying that the school days could get longer and the school holidays could get shorter to make up for the lost time. But on the plus side, the children have missed so many math lessons, they ain't going to know. I can't count that high. Not a problem. I think it is right to change it and make it longer school days, shorter school holidays to make up for what happened. Not in terms of learning, just help the parents get sane again. That way, if they have more time away from their kids, I think it can be better. I know I don't have kids myself, but I know that a lot of people with children started to fray at the edges a bit. And you can tell, like when you're doing a social Zoom chat, you're all having a little drink, you're just chatting about stuff, and someone will say something interesting, and then innocently you'll say something like, oh, every day's a school day, and they say,
not every day's a school day. Not this year. Not this year.
Oops. So that's good news. They're going back, and then they're going back, but what's going to happen with the exams? So that's the front page of The Guardian today. Teachers get sweeping powers. What? They've got to do the cleaning up now, have they? Hey, look at that. Did a joke. Teachers will be the ones in charge of picking the grades for GCSE and A-levels. And, well, firstly, all of those people who said, I think it's terrible, the amount of money that people spend buying gifts for their teachers, all of a sudden, that's going to pay off. Those who bought the Gucci handbag for the teacher at the end of the term, that's going to pay off in grades. And this is part of the problem, right? I understand that the exam system is going to be complicated, but I'm not incredibly sure it's good to get teachers to say what grade they think a child should get, because they'll be biased. And I don't have the book was on here until recently. I'm reading this book. It's like The Power of Quiet, this thing about being an introvert. And one of the scariest things is that teachers have a built-in unconscious bias where they think that loud extroverted children are brighter than introverted children, which is kind of, it's not okay, but it's bearable unless the teachers are actually deciding what the grades are going to be. Then all of a sudden that is a terrible situation. It's so bad that apparently if you are a child at the front of the class who puts their hand up and answers questions wrongly, the teacher will think you're brighter than someone who's sat at the back quietly just getting the answers right but not making a big deal out of it. And I'm trying, it's one of my campaigns. 16% of the population are introverts, and I got to a stage in life where I realised, actually, introverts are getting a pretty crappy end of the stick, but obviously we're not vocal about it. And it's time to push back. So this is one of the reasons I don't think it's a good idea. This will mean that extroverts get better grades, they'll get better jobs, and we'll just have to deal with them more. Oh, there was a thing I saw on the internet the other week that said, everyone keeps saying to introverts, you should get out of your comfort zone more. No one says to extroverts, you should shut the fuck up and make this zone a bit more comfortable. Why not? Because that actually would be fair. Come on. And a new side note. We need to have this conversation with extroverted people. Is there any way you could scan through the story that you're telling to just work out if it's all needed? Because if a story is more fun to tell than it is to listen to, you're not doing anyone a favour. There is just times when you're on the inside of an introverted head thinking, it's 5 minutes of this and there's still not a point. Oh, I've got lots of background details of the people you're talking about, but I still don't give a shit about them. There was one, this is my other bugbear, if you're in a group of people, and like a topic would have established, so maybe you're talking about times you've had to call the fire brigade or something like that. And then I'm waiting for my turn to tell the story of when the car exploded out the back here. And before then, some extrovert will just go, yeah, it's like that time when I had to turn my heating down. And this guy out from work no, I've not told you about him, blah, blah, blah. All right. So I was going to wait my turn, but now we're on a different topic because random McFuckface has decided to just say whatever comes into their brain. So that's an issue. We're going to be benefiting extroverts. I'm not sure that's good when it comes to qualifications. However, what else are you going to do? I mean, the algorithm clearly didn't work. That had a problem where it reduced people's grades based on where they live. I mean, there's not a better example of stopping social mobility, is there? That basically sort of, let's have a look at your report, shall we? Straight A's. Although I see that you live in this town. It would make far more sense if you were a failure, wouldn't it? So let's just give you a lot of D's. And while you're here, that pregnancy test, don't bother yourself. I know you're 14, but look, you live there. Let's just say it's a yes. It's a terrible situation. You can't use the algorithm. Apparently you can't use the exams. So I guess we have to rely upon teachers because whilst they may be biased, it's an unconscious bias. So teachers will say, oh, I can make up for that. You can't make up for unconscious bias. That's kind of the problem. At least they have the greatest amount of expertise. So yes, they are the people to assess the children. Just a shame that those children weren't anywhere goddamn near a school for the last year. Oh, what a shame. So there is a way around stopping this bias. And okay. I've worked out how they're going to be doing the exam results this year. Eric, would you like to find out what results you'd get?
Sure. I mean, nervous. I didn't realize I was going to be tested. But,
yeah, this is the big one. This is the GCSEs. Give me your favourite colour.
Blue.
B-L-E-E. And now, favourite number between 1 and 4?
1 and 4. 3.
Oh, you just got a D in GCSE pottery. Sorry, mate.
I liked that pot. Oh. It almost held water.
Did you do these in America? Let's put the thing on.
Yeah.
Did you do these pointless?
Yeah, we're not savages.
I had to spend ages this afternoon Googling this. This is the hardest part of the show. I couldn't remember how you make them.
I couldn't make one to save my life, but I mean, people did them. I had people do them for me.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Shame,
Can't tell
because
by the accent.
you could have got like an A at CDT Technology, which would have made you good at this, but never mind. Shame, innit?
There you go. You see, that's what you subscribe to. That's what you pay for.
That's what you pay for.
Quality artwork.
Okay. Props made.
Props.
I mean, I nick the paper if I'm brutally honest about it, but who doesn't nick paper these days?
Yeah, it's just you're lucky if you can find it these days. You can't find good paper anywhere. I can tell you were fired up about that subject, even though you don't have children in school, because you swore in episodes. So
that's true. I always worry about swearing because I always think that we might, get monetized on YouTube at some stage. We won't. I don't know why I'm worried about it.
I think we're pretty clear of that right now.
Yeah.
I think we're pretty safe. But I like that you took on the issue of schools going back when I'm the one with children. But because it's taken a toll. It's taken a toll on me. It's taken a toll on my wife. It's taken a toll on our relationship, Steve, and our relationship with our viewers. And so I'm happy for the little fuckers to go. And they can quarantine. I mean, they're going to get lateral flow tests. They're going to be fine. They're going to be good.
Yeah. I mean, I took on the issue. I don't have kids, but I do have GCSEs. So I guess you don't.
Yeah.
Did you?
I mean, but the assessment of we were assessed by teachers in America, and I turned out absolutely fine. Look where I am, and look where you are. You had to sit for exams. I had to just,
You so just proved my point. What I'm talking about is a system where extroversion is rewarded. I give you the case study of America. If we reward extroversion by teachers, next thing we know, we'll be in a country where everyone's called Brad, and they're just in your face.
Yep. It's brilliant. But don't worry, you'll get a gun, Steve, and you can equalize everything out.
What a great plan. Have a system where introverts are ignored by the school system and then they get guns. How's that worked out for you? You've made some good films based on it.
Yeah, and some good documentaries. Right, should we have a look at comments?
Boomtown Rap Song's quite a good one as well. But anyway. Exquisite Tenderness says, sorry to be late. It's all right. Thank you very much for being here.
All right. Martin says, evening, guys. What stories tonight? The England v. Trump cricket debacle or Trump? Well.
Are you doing
neither.
Trump? You're not doing Trump today?
No Trump?
It's a brave
Is he in the
world.
news today? If we had a break, he'll be speaking at CPAC on the weekend. And do either of us do sports, Steve?
No.
No, we do not. This is a sport-free zone.
Yep.
So we'll do bad puns, but no sport.
Charlotte says, evening all. What else we got going on? Stephen Allen is Edward Woodward. The Equalizer. Do you mean that one? And Bayerberg says, I'm assessing my youngling as a top-grade Fortnite slayer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Bayberg. I'll pit my son against your son anytime.
I could work out who's going to get the best GCSE if you want. We've got the latest in grade selection technology.
If it's Fortnite GCSE, kick it. I didn't realize they could do all-day lessons on Fortnite, but my son can.
Just ask the question on Periscope says, ha! Thank you.
It's a good reaction. We'll take it. It was for one of mine, I bet.
Yeah, sure it was. I mean, I don't know whether it was a good laugh or not. You never can tell. Is it like, ha!
It was like a ha.
Ha! Or was they get new sweeping powers? That was the terrible poem, wasn't it? Teach us to get sweeping powers. What they've got to clean up to. Ha! It was probably that one.
Yeah. Ah.
Yeah.
Ah.
If you've enjoyed any of it so far, chuck some coins in the pot. Ko-fi.com.
You don't have to wait till the end. If you give us enough money, we will stop now. That's what we've been waiting for all this time. All right, Steve.
Yep.
Here's a problem. Problem for all of us, really. It's what kind of pandemic do you want to live through? So this is I'm going to take a sidestep here because this is actually based on a problem that was sent to us by a viewer, Mark Randall. He sent us a tweet. And so this is just to prove that we do look at your problems. Here's the tweet that he sent in to both of us. He said one for Eric and Steve. The question has to be, what if it's your local car park? I'm like, oh, well, what's this about? So we clicked on the actual story, and that goes on here to bring us this headline. Dogging is not essential travel. UK police forced to speak out over planned event. Oh, yeah, they were just forced to. What I love about this, before we go away from the slide, if we can go back to that, it's great example of some clip art put together for that headline, because obviously they haven't been able to actually capture the dogging. So they've just decided to go with a random car alone, which, I mean, wouldn't you have more than one car for dogging?
Not during a
And
lockdown.
police on the street. I mean, if you're doing dogging and you're only with your own partner, I believe you're doing it wrong.
Yeah. It's just a trip.
And then just random blue lights. So well done, clip art guys. Now, I have to say, Mark, I'm not sure. You know, there's literally thousands of stories in the news you could choose to send. What is it about that story that you saw? This is one that fits Eric and Steve. And then when we discussed who's going to cover the story, I get that story, apparently. And that's fair enough because, you know, I have more experience with the whole dog situation because I have one. And it's very important. I'm off and out with the dog. I do, yeah. So I get into the story. So let's look at it a little bit more closely. First off, where is this happening? This dogging incident. If we have a look here, it's in Essex. Oh, how stereotypical. Isn't that your old stomping ground, Steve?
I was there just earlier today. I mean, not exactly there, but... Planned event
going on? Anything scheduled? Your old diary? What's your car look like again? Anyway, of course it's in Essex. The Slags. A chance to say that. Let's get into the details of the story, shall we? A little bit more here. If we look in, the police did say they did not believe that this was essential travel. Now, I would have to disagree. As the experienced dogger in this group, you can't dog in your backyard. You got to get out.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I know our dog doesn't like to do it in the backyard. He likes to be taken to the park. We're talking about dogs pooping, right?
If that's what floats your boat.
But I mean, you know, if there was a reason to get out and connect, if you're all COVID tested, I would think this is essential.
And they wear masks,
don't
they?
4 or 5. Yeah. You wear a mask, you wear a condom, you go with God. That's what my grandmother used to say.
That might be the funniest thing I've ever heard you say.
And it's true. So that's one way to deal with the pandemic. That's making a choice of the pandemic you want to have. Now, we were talking about America and optimism a few moments ago, Steve. Let's talk about the kind of COVID, pandemic people are having in the States with this news story.
Call it. When I saw this, I just could not help but smile. It is all about a 105-year-old who beat COVID-19. You know, she's the oldest one here in the U.S. that we know of to beat COVID-19. So let's just kind of explain the story.
How fucking chipper is she? I mean, it's a great story, but I mean, it is that level of chipper that you're just like, I don't give a shit if this woman's 110 and just been dogging in Essex. It's just tone down the happiness, okay? Oh, God, nice story. 105 years old. I mean, it's really sweet. Let's see. How did she beat COVID? Let's have a look.
She said that she doesn't have a secret, only but to pray, pray, pray.
There it is, Steve. The science is in. Pray, pray, pray. You know it's true because he said it 3 times. That's what brings Beetlejuice.
And that's science.
Fact.
Okay.
That's science. I don't hear anything. Don't hear you rebutting that. But that's not all, Steve. It's not just prayer, the science of it. She's got one other little trick up her sleeve, so we can see here.
But she also pointed out that she has a particular diet with raisins soaked in gin. And so she said that she has done this for most of her life.
There you go. Well,
Raisins soaked in gin.
I got some raisins here. I've had quite a few of these today. Oh, quite tasty. Would you like one?
No, I'm fine, thanks.
I'm gonna pass it over.
I think there's a...
Take it. You're gonna take it?
Yeah.
Come on, take it. Take it. Take it. I can get on board with that.
All that back.
I didn't plan on really eating them.
Yeah.
Never
While
too late
you're
to start.
chewing on that, I've got a side theory that if she's spent most of her life having raisins soaked in gin, maybe she's 57 and looks that way and just can't remember when she was born anymore.
I mean, it's a shriveled raisin, shriveled COVID response. It seems like a happy story. They seemed very chipper in the news, but I'm afraid to say it does have a bit of a sad ending, as we can see here.
She doesn't plan to live for another 105 years.
She's not going to make it. Not to 210.
Yeah. Even with the raisins.
Even with the gin raisins. So I'm sorry. I tried to bring this up.
I really honestly thought you were going to set us up with the story of a woman who eats raisins soaked in gin, then said it had an unhappy ending. I thought you were really going to say she was pulled under by a strong current. I thought you were going to do that joke.
I knew that you would.
Yeah, you got to learn the basics.
I knew that you would, Steve. So there we go. That's choosing the pandemic path.
Yeah.
That you want.
Some of the comments.
I choose gin, soaked raisins, and dogging.
Wow. I had an argument today with someone who, but it was on TikTok like they all are, and someone was just saying, I've never had any vaccines, because we're talking about the vaccine as a solution to this. And I was like, what? Not even as a baby? And he said, no, my mother never had me vaccinated. Nature has everything you need. I was like, wow. Didn't really have everything to stop those people dying of smallpox before that vaccine, but other than that, real good point. So yeah, if you think that gin and raisins will get you through all this, good luck.
Oh, she did.
We'll miss you.
I cut this part of the story, but she also had just gotten the vaccine.
Oh, so right. So she'd had a vaccine and raisins, and you thought, let's focus on the raisins because that's
and prayer.
Yeah.
And then yeah, she did get the vaccine.
Okay, well, it's interesting. I'm sure they work together in a magical, mysterious way.
That's the great thing about the internet is you just choose what you want from the news story.
Yeah.
So you would choose a story that says that she was helped by having the vaccine. I'm choosing the prayer and the gin-soaked raisins.
Wow.
They're equal.
Mark says, eat raisins and face like a prune. That's harsh. Come on, Mark. Oh, if she's watching, we do apologise.
She's not watching.
She's not putting money in the Kofi, let's be honest. Chris says she started telling everyone about the benefits of gin-soaked grapes. She's raising awareness.
I didn't even think about going down the pun route with this story. Martin S. has said the Northern Echo, referring to where the story about the dogging came from. Yeah. And a question for you, Steve. Do you write for them as well?
I don't, but if anyone from the Northern Echo is watching, I'd be more than happy to syndicate my newspaper column to your journal too.
I did think about tweeting the journalist who wrote the article, but I didn't want to get sued.
No, you should do it. We totally get away with it. In fact, there was one of them that we picked from, can't remember the news source, but actually they ended up pushing it on social media. One of the clips that I did ages ago. It works. Do it.
Well, we'll do it. We'll tweet it. And Breyerberg has said, pray I know that brand of tequila.
She looks like the worm at the bottom of it. It's on the fact-free zone that is Fox. That's all you need to know, says Mark. Good point. The Bishop,
a local Fox station.
Says it happened down the road from me. He's talking about the dogging. He says, and Steve, you pass that dogging hotspot when you go to and from the radio station. No wonder I barely made it in time.
It doesn't take you long.
Whereabouts is it then? So Gallows Corner? Is it near?
Some Canberry Island thing? Hold on. Do you really want to know?
I mean, everyone needs a hobby. Meanwhile, Mark says, what if they arrive in a 4x4? That was in response to the idea of turning up on your own, wasn't it? Introverted dogging. That is a really good idea. That's where we all get together, turn up to a car park, just stay in our cars. It's safer.
Maybe that's why that single car that they showed in the picture.
Yeah, introverted dogging. It's safer,
was the introverted dogging.
But it does cost you money on Ringo, where you have to just pay for the parking. It's all a bit pointless, really.
Right. So it's Canvey Island.
Oh, Canvey Island. Yeah. Oh, I almost kind of go, it's not too far. I could nip down the old A13, is it, to there? Yeah, I could do it.
Is that one of those fake islands they have out that way that just confuse me? Like, what is it, Dog Island or whatever it is?
Dog Island, yeah.
It's not Dog Island.
It's Dog Island.
I'm not saying that's Doggy, but there is an island out that way that I did gigs there back when we did gigs. And I was like, oh, this is an island. I didn't know how I'd get here. And then the audience were like, he doesn't realize that we called it an island, but it's a fucking peninsula.
the peninsula of dogs. That would be the least Essex thing.
Isle of Dogs. That's the one.
Oh, it is, yeah.
That's the name of it.
God's Own Island Sheppy says, Crib, that was a while ago, but to be fair, that works for everything we've talked about so far this evening. But he actually mentioned that, the idea of a place where you get your grades and your pregnancy test predicted for you. It all still works.
Isle of Dogs, the dog island.
Yeah, it's a good one because we're not going to catch it with all the messages again. Let's go comment cam. I'm going to go comment cam to try and cover some more of these.
And then we can, yeah.
That's it. And Marsan, I don't know, says, from what I remember, Periscope is going away soon. Push your fans towards YouTube. It's on screen.
That's where we're at. We got to do it.
Yeah. And then just asked the question, just said, ha, ha, ha. I still don't know if that's sarcastic, but we thank you for the comment.
We will take it. Martin S. said, Canvey Island, land of Dr. Feelgood.
There we go. The kind of tunes that I would play on your evening show on Time 107.5 after 7 when things get a little bit dancey.
Plug it in. Right. So the Ko-fi link is there. Feel free to chuck a few quid or dollars or tokens or whatever you want to call it
Euros.
in there.
I don't mind.
Euros. Yeah. The dollar's up. So we'll take dollars again.
Next problem.
Dollars down. This is the problem. The problem.
Wait a minute. Is it not my go? Because you've just done dogging and old woman.
Got excited.
I'm going for 3 in a row. He's had some caffeine today. I'll take this as a problem.
It's the raisins, Steve.
It's all those drunken raisins. I have a problem that it's all about where to spend the money is the problem I want to address, because as things open up you can spend your money on things, which actually it's a good time to mention that, as you said, April 12th a lot of things change. From that point onwards we'll be allowed to have takeaway booze from pubs. Getting closer. I will say be careful about what you order. If you take a pint and walk home with it, that's fine. But when we did it last time, once ordered a flaming sambuca, and by the time I got home, it was gone. And so were my eyebrows, so it was terrible. Also, if you're ordering a drink to walk home before you enjoy it, maybe don't order one of those, like a long glass with the paper umbrella. Not because it'll blow away, just because you look like an absolute arsehole. But, so there are things like that you could spend your money on. But what if you got some serious cash? You got the kind of cash that one would ordinarily be dumping in a Ko-fi for some starving comedians. Well, you could try and invest in property. And it was last time we did a show, you talked about investing in property in America. We can recap some of it. You gave us this, so that's $650,000 for the house that you showed us that already had sitting tenants. Well, some of them were standing and sitting. That's the weird mannequin fest, the little Kim Cattrall horror zone that was that. Well, I'm going to show you around a house that you could invest in the British Isles. It's in today's newspaper, and we can see there it's a quaint little terraced house. I'm not sure whether you'd want to go for terrace living. I grew up in a that kind of mining area up north, so I don't mind terrace houses, but you are connected on both sides, and it does mean you can't live with someone who gets upset with the neighbours making any noise. And this is a special shout out to a couple of exes gone who would do a thing where you'd be sat there watching the telly, and all of a sudden she'd go, "Did you hear that?" And I didn't hear that. And she'd be like, "Turn the telly off." So I missed the channel. Could you turn the telly? No, put it on mute. Put it on mute. Can you hear it? Just get rid of the central heating. Get rid of that hum. Get to the absolutely no. I can bloody hear the neighbours again. What kind of a racket is that? And I'm sat there going, yeah, I can hear a really annoying sound. It's like a meh. It's like, no, it's a bassy sound coming through the walls. I'm like, yeah, but I'm hearing a, can you hear that? Can you turn the telly off? So, I mean, no wonder we're not together anymore. But
I was going to say,
you have to be careful if you're in a terrace house, because that's what you can hear. Let's go inside this terrace house. Original features, spacious.
Don't see any mannequins.
No, it's a mannequin-free zone. It's also a door-free zone. The carpet's gone, but the original feces is still on the floor by the looks of it. I mean, they have taken everything out apart from the kitchen sink. But we can also look at this room. That is, I don't really know what. It's kind of a bathroom with an extra door through to the toilet, like it's the gents. It looks like there's been a murder in there. There's probably some... Look at the paneling as well. Nice.
Yeah, you always want to have wood paneling next to a shower. Always.
That's how they're going to absorb it all. I think we've got some more pictures. I just randomly took pictures and look at that one. Totally cleared out. I mean, it's got nice wallpaper. That'll come back into fashion at some point. That's the kind of look that we had when I was growing up. The damp behind the radiator tells you that's where they've been putting their towels for a while, but it's got a nice view. And I think is that the last picture? That could have been the last picture. So that's a place that's available. It's not quite as plush as what you get in America, but in America, £650,000. Now, we're not going to collect that dollars. We're not going to collect that on Ko-fi, so we can't invest in it. However, Bishop just said in the comments that's a show home on Jaywick. We're doing the full Essex show today, aren't we? Mark says it has potential. Yeah, I mean, sure, the estate agents will be telling you all of that. Here's the thing. How much do you think that house is going for?
Oh, God. I don't even... Well, can you tell us where it is first?
It's in Wales.
All right. That's dropped the property value quite a bit.
Even though their slogan for Wales is, Wales, there's lovely. I think that's their national slogan. They say it a lot in comedy sketches.
£200,000?
Deceptively spacious, says Chris. £200,000?
Yeah.
It is lower than £200,000.
Thank goodness for that. How much lower should I go?
Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, go on.
£0.
What? Wow.
You could possibly get that
first house I've seen I could afford.
You should get... If you give us £0 on the Ko-fi link, we'll try and invest it in that Welsh property. We could actually have a studio.
That's what most people have given us. So...
Yeah, we could actually have a studio to film these things in.
Well, it must be in Newport.
£0. It's only a guide price. I mean, how can you have a guide price of £0 though? As in, like, someone turns. Do you start the bidding at 0? We start the bid at 0. Cost you more to park there. I had a car that was running, but it wasn't going to pass the MOT, and so I put it on the thing where they come and get your car, and they offered me £13 for it, and I had just filled the tank. So if I had my boy siphon the petrol out. Just suck on this tube. There you go. Yeah. There you go. Works in the movies. Didn't want to do it yourself?
Petrol.
Didn't want to use the siphon yourself?
Not these lips. These lips are just for raisins.
Okay. Victoria says, nice stretch goal. I don't know what that means.
I think it's a goal for Ko-fi. We put that on as our new Ko-fi goal.
The Ko-fi goal. If you could help us reach all the way to £0, we'll try and see if we can invest this show in property. And then at some point, that house might be worth something, and it'll be the only way we can make money out of streaming.
Jesus. Different kind of streaming. Could be our Welsh office.
Yeah, we could do with one of those.
Yeah, be good.
A year ago, this property would go for £3,000 a month if it would be no further than Zone 3. Yeah, I mean, I think technically Wales is like Zone 7 or something.
Yeah, something like that.
A bit further out, isn't it? But
I remember, oof.
You get those gigs in Zone 7.
I remember the first time I left the M25 to do gigs. It was terrifying.
How many zones are there now? Because it used to be there were 6 zones, and then the weird thing up the top of the Metropolitan line where it was like A, B, and C.
A, B, C, yeah. I don't think it even matters anymore. Now that
no one's going out.
COVID, no one's going out, except for me. Get my hair cut.
Let's have a look. And does it have a bark entrance? Were we doing
for dogging?
Yeah. Could be that.
Maybe. A shower. I mean, the paneling for the shower. Jesus. Who does that?
But it would look good behind us when we're doing a streaming show.
Yeah. Different kind of streaming show.
Do that in the shower. Lovely. I think we're roughly caught up with most of the comments. Right. If you're ready for a problem, get solving.
This is the problem I thought I was going to do earlier. That was a problem. This is a problem about the need to be kind.
Oh, nice.
It's neat. It's important. I mean, we all worry about things like mean comments and mean tweets, especially now with the internet age. All things can come back and haunt us. It's very rare that you just call someone up and yell at them because they could be recording it. Just like Donald Trump and the Secretary of State in Georgia. See, there we did bring in Trump. There we go. Whoever requested some Trump. Now, Neera Tanden, somebody you might not have heard of, but she's a nominee for a position in Biden's government. She has to get approved by the Senate, right? They do advise and consent to say who the president can choose for certain departments. Neera knew that she had a problem with some tweets that she'd sent a few years ago because when it looked like she was going to get nominated, she did this. This is a story from The Guardian. They've said this article is more than 2 months old. I like how they label that, just in case you're a fucking idiot. But she was an outspoken nominee to run a budget office. She deleted over 1,000 tweets. So she's somebody that could, she had a little bit of a tweet to it thing going on. The problem is that some of the people that she sent the mean tweets about are some of the very senators who now confirm her for the job that she wants and Biden wants her to have. Now, one of the senators who's actually on the other side of the aisle, she's a Republican, with obviously these are Democrats, was Susan Collins. And Neera had some mean things to say about Neera. Neera had some mean things to say about Susan. They're pretty nasty, so brace yourselves. Everybody who's watching, we're going to give you a little bit of a sample of the things that she said here. She said that Collins was a fake defender of Roe v. Wade and that she accused her of flat-out deception. Ooh, nasty girl. Rawr, cat fight on Twitter. Rawr, rawr. You're missing my acting here. Come back to me, Steve. Look at that. You missed all that.
I thought you were going to finish reading the tweet. I was going to wait till the end, but no, you went straight into the.
I just skipped the end of it because it was boring.
I mean,
it's not mean. It's just a little bit.
People didn't like the film version of Cats, so no one wanted to see what you were doing.
Oh, I've got the same little softballs. That's what I'm going to the salon for, because then they digitalize anyway. So basically, she had that level of meanness. Mm-hmm. So Senator Collins has said that she probably can't support somebody who's so nasty. And you think, this is Senator Collins, the same person. She did support somebody during their first impeachment trial. Wonder who that was. Was it someone who sent a tweet like this? Bette Midler is an extremely unattractive woman. I refuse to say that because I always insist on being politically correct. I mean, that's just a mild tweet that he sent.
It's also a logical conundrum.
Yeah, he's trapped himself there.
Yeah. There's James Corden in the background.
I wish that many people. I wish I was that successful that many people hated me as much as they hate him.
Yeah,
I would love that level of success. So she's happy to support Donald Trump. She's not happy to support Neera. So that's the thing. You got to be careful what you say to people. Another example of being nice is there's this gentleman here. This is an FBI photo because he was a participant in the 6th of January insurrection. And the FBI was struggling to find him, Steve. And no, it wasn't just because he was wearing the mask under that beard that he was in trouble. He was part of a riot to take over the Congress of the United States. Oh, yeah. But they couldn't find the guy. Couldn't find him. But then he had the wisdom to send his girlfriend this text, which I do have here. If you can't see the election was stolen, you're a moron. And so she replied, call me a moron and I'll call the FBI. Which she did. And he's now been arrested. So again, tweets, texts, you can't be too careful. And our final example of kindness deals with a firebrand politician, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now, some of you might have heard about her. She's the new congresswoman from Georgia. She's the QAnon candidate. She's into guns. She's just wacko. She's cuckoo for Cocoa Puff, Steve. She is crazy as a fucking batshit crazy person. And surprisingly, she's not into transgendered rights. Not really surprised. She likes the guns, not the... I don't know what the analogy I was going to go with there. But she just recently blocked something called the Equality Act. Now, the thing is, she's in Congress, and all the congressmen, the Democrats and the Republicans, are all together in Congress. They're in the same corridors, and they have, offices across from each other. And so the Democrat across the hall from Marjorie Greene, decided to, get back at her for opposing the Equality Act. So we know how she did it. She did this because she sent this tweet here, where she basically says, our neighbor, Marjorie Taylor Greene, tried to block the Equality Act because she believes in prohibiting discrimination against trans Americans is disgusting, immoral, and evil. So they put up in the hallway the transgender flag just so that she has to look at it every time she comes out of her office door. We can see her putting up the flag outside of Marjorie's office here. There she is. That's Marjorie Taylor's office, and this is the congresswoman on the Democratic side, and there she is. She's planting the transgender flag, and there we go. So she tweeted that. Marjorie Taylor, this is a woman who has a lot of guns. She's not going to take that line down. So immediately she responded with this. That's the other woman's office, and there she is putting up a sign. There are two genders, male and female. Steve, you like this? About science.
Would have been better if she'd have put up two signs on the doors that just said "ladies and gentlemen." I feel like that she missed a trick there, but I probably
she's
don't
not
want to
the
help
brightest stick in the woods either. But the thing is, I don't agree with her politics, Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't agree with most anything she does. But, the other congresswoman puts up the flag. Marjorie Taylor responds with the sign. Now it's gone back the other way. The congresswoman has responded with this. Just TP'd her car.
Oh.
I mean, that's not acceptable. Marjorie Taylor was not happy about that. It took her days to find her car. So she replied with this. Poop senders, the ultimate gag gift. She had poop delivered. And you know that she did it because that's a Republican, which is the symbol of the Republicans. I mean, an elephant, which is the symbol of the Republicans. So, I mean, it wasn't very well disguised. It's just going to keep going back and forth. This was the response from the other side of the aisle.
Oh.
There you go. She went because the Democrats go nuclear, Steve. That's what we do.
These things escalate.
Truman was a Democrat. Just saying.
I like JoJo's take on it, which is just simply to say both are foolish. Yeah.
One is right, but both are wrong.
Yeah. Totally. Like effectively do whatever you want, I suppose, if it's all about getting in the news with the flag thing, but that's just like upsetting neighbours. Those people who end up falling out with their neighbours, you've got to work across from each other. You're not Windsor Davis and Donald Sutherland with Never the Twain. Did you ever see that sitcom?
Nope.
Oh, not Donald Sutherland, Donald Sinden. Donald Sinden.
Okay.
Oh, there's lovely boy. Donald Sinden.
Oh, I saw the one with Donald Sutherland.
Yeah. Because they were both owned antique shops like next door to each other, and they just fall out all the time. That's what they're doing. They're setting up. You might as well just be the flipping odd couple.
Neither of those two congresswomen ever lived in a terraced house. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's true.
If they did, of the two of them, of the house that you showed us, it would be Marjorie Taylor Greene, though.
Yeah, nice. So Martin S. says, Soft Balls Salon. Oh, right, the salon with the kids' play area. Well saved. I think that's
opening soon. Can't wait for that, although I'm barred from two of them.
My cat just gave me a dirty look for you guys waking her up with Eric hissing. Sorry, Brit. It's the acting that it does. He's done cat method acting. It's just too good. That's the one that gets him. They don't like that one. To confirm, says Mark, there are 9 zones plus separate zones for Watford, Shenfield and the Croydon Tramlink.
I was counting on Mark to give us that factual basis. We don't want to say, Mark, look it up, because we're not going to pay you. Yeah. But if we put a fact out there to be checked, we want you to check it.
Jack says, I do like the Donald Sinden reference. Donald Sinden. Ooh, there's lovely boy. That's this is nothing like either of their voices, but at least I'm trying.
Should I try?
Yeah.
I've never seen him.
Was that Windsor Davis or Donald Sinden?
Yeah,
Donald
that was Windsor. That was Windsor Davis.
Okay, Windsor Davis.
Never heard of him.
You've never heard of Windsor Davis? How are we even pretending to do comedy? Britt says Stephen can be in the bath and Eric can be on the loo at the same time for future shows. If you donate enough money, we'll try and buy that place in Wales. We can do the show. We'll move in there.
It would be good publicity.
And we could do it like an episode of Big Brother where we just put webcams on, stream it, apart from, one of those 2 rooms in the bathroom. Come on.
One of them. One of them has to go on the show. Which one is it going to be?
Yeah. Do you put the cameras in the shower or the cameras in the toilet?
Definitely the toilet.
And there's less to see, but then do you want people knowing?
Not if you're doing it right.
Do you not worry that you don't want people seeing footage of you getting a big red face and that vein coming up?
I would just shit in the shower.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Seems like a perfect
Remember when
housemate.
we were living in Edinburgh together?
Oh God. I was thinking if you've been down Lush because it looks like you've been using soap that had sweet corn husks built into it, but I guess that wasn't there to exfoliate. That was just
good times. Good times. Right. Have we caught up with comments?
Martin S says, or Dick Van Dyke. Yes, we need to know about Dick Van Dyke. What was the reference?
I think that was me doing a bad accent.
Oh, it was. There's words that Windsor Davis is more famous for. You lovely boy. That's something like that, isn't it? I can't remember the catchphrases, but that was from It Ain't Half. No. It Ain't Half Hot Mum? Yeah, that was from that. This is even before my time. Right, anyway, let's crack on with some of the messages while I try and remember sitcoms that were played out before I was born. It makes it difficult. Any more messages?
Any more? I don't know.
Martin S says Lofty. That's an 8.5 Hot Mum one, isn't it? That's not a Never the Twain one. Remembering sitcoms live on streaming shows.
I've seen people stream worse. I'm not saying this is the best, but I've seen worse.
Yeah, you could stream in the shower. That would be one of the benefits.
Yeah, I do. Right. Well, while Steve's looking for comments, we are towards the end of the show. We are going to be back next Tuesday. But if you have enjoyed today, we genuinely do appreciate if you can chuck a few quid in the Ko-fi link, because that just gives us the hope to keep on going. So whatever you feel that you can contribute, a couple of pounds goes a long way, because we have no other income, and it's appreciated. And yeah, we invest in the show, put in that skylight. That kind of thing. Stolen paper, but still.
GCSE.
Steve could afford
home economics.
His own paper soon. But regardless, either way, if you can subscribe to the YouTube channel, please do that. And please tell people about the show and just spread the word, because the more that watch, the better.
Yeah. Some final comments then. Chris says, Eric's just woken my dog up with that noise. He can do both species. He's pan species.
Roof.
There you go. Scooby-Doo method. There you go. You knew he'd do it. And then Mark says, whoever's on the toilet could do Frank Hovis from Channel 4's Absolutely. Now there's a sketch show that Eric won't remember.
Nope.
What's the point?
Let's just do a whole show where you say things and references to me that I will never get, because there's no way, even in 20 years in the UK, I've caught up on all this.
Yeah. I was, and no one's going to bother doing this, but on Tuesday afternoon at 3:30, I was on BBC Shropshire taking part in their TV quiz, where you had to answer questions about TV. And yeah, 1 minute of questions. The best score before I did it was 7, and I equaled 7. So I'm joint best score, and they've been doing it for a while. But to be fair, the first question that they asked me was complete this title of a television show, The Mash something. So they really did bowl me some underarm ones there, to be fair.
Did you get that one right?
I paused for a while. I was like, what the hell's why are they remembering sitcoms based in the Korean War? Wait a minute.
You were on telly once.
Yeah.
And you were on telly right now.
Yeah, it could happen again. It's not been ruled out. We've just not heard anything. I technically could be a TV star.
Right, one more comment before we go. Bearberg said, you missed my comment. Millennials stopped dealing in money you can touch. To get their lack of wealth, you need to collect dog coins, Cardanos, and broken hopes and dreams.
Nice. Yeah, cryptocurrencies and craptocurrencies.
It's all there. We'll take Bitcoin.
Shitcoin. See, it's easy. It's easy.
Right. So... we're back on Tuesday, Steve?
Yep.
There we go. So subscribe, send a few coin, tell people about the show. You can see past episodes on the YouTube channel, and follow us on the Twitter.
Yeah.
That's it.
Spread the link, spread the word, subscribe to whatever you can subscribe to. Yeah, let's just do it. We put the effort in. We wrote about 3 jokes for tonight, so let's hope they get rewarded somehow.
Buy a house in Wales.
Yeah. Till Tuesday then. Bye.
Bye.